those who submitted them and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of In the Clutch Sports Talk and More podcasts. Any content provided by guests are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company of any individual or anyone or anything. You are tuned in to Real Talk, where if it ain't real, we don't talk about it. The topics are never ending, so if you're ready for some real talk, you're in the right place. Can't wait to hear what the crew got to say this week. Good people. What is going on? We are back again for
What up, Pat? What up, Pat?
Oh, you know, cousin Pat she in the chat first thing.
My number one roadie.
She is in the chat. Well, right now, you're just with D Early and T Will.
Not looking too good right now, Miss Pat. So that means you can chime in easily.
Oh.
You got to help us do the show, Miss Pat. Look like.
Well, we get a couple more people in here. We'll go ahead and get this thing kicked off because I don't know if I'm just noticing it because I had put this topic out, but a lot of people saying, come on, National Guard, we need you. So,
yeah. And after we finished our show on last week, I sort of got where you were coming from, but I think I can offer more analysis of why I said what I said, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we get a couple more people in here.
How was everybody's Labor Day weekend? Mine was fabulous. I'm on vacation this week. Start a new job Monday. I'm good. I'm good.
Are you good to go?
Mm-hmm.
Ready to start the new job off, well rested?
Oh yeah. My manager emailed me today and said, Terry, you got your little onboarding, but as soon as you leave your onboarding, come on here. We waiting for you. I said, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So I'm ready. What
kind of onboarding you got? You got some onboarding to still do?
Yeah, I guess they told me I go to some place off of over there where ALS and them used to stay, over there off of Pope and Jackson. I don't know what they talking about.
Oh, okay.
It's off Pope and Jackson. I got to go there for 2 hours of onboard orientation. I guess you know the do's, don'ts. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Then you report to your location. So whatever they tell me, I'm ready. So
okay, well. Come on, people. Where y'all at? Come on now. It's 7:03. Y'all should be in here by now. We got one person, cousin Pat, the only one in the room right now. We don't want to get started. We want to have a couple people. We don't want to backtrack on what we doing, what we saying.
You know what? I wish I could have some people here right now that used to get on me when I sit up there and talk about Joe. You see what Joe did to my wife yesterday? Well, he didn't do that bad, but you know how we always be playing and stuff. You know, Sean had put a post out there. I went out there, got on the grill and cooked some smoked sausages and hot dogs and put some ears of corn on the grill and stuff. And so Sean said, let me take a picture and I'm gonna post it. So I said, okay, I sent it to her. And she put on the post just something for me and my hubby. Joe said, for you and your hubby, he's because it was about 100 hot dogs and about 30 smoked sausages and about 6-7 big ears of corn. So he had to put his little part in it. She said, yeah, Joe silly, ain't it? I said, he slides his licks in. He slides his licks in and go and run.
Yeah, you know Joe slick with his.
He's slick with his. Yeah.
Well, we got one person in. We're gonna go ahead and get this. I'm gonna wait 40 more seconds, and we're gonna go ahead and kick this thing off. I got a video, and the topic for today is: how do you guys feel about the National Guard coming to a city near you, or actually your city? I know cousin Pat, they in St. Louis, so I know they probably on the list. I know Memphis on the list.
Cousin Pat, y'all in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Y'all about it down there. I got one of my favorite guys I've listened to on the podcast, Most Hated Blogger, is from St. Louis. I look at him every day. Most Hated Blogger. MHB, they call him.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and run this first video, and we'll chat about it a little bit afterwards.
Let me tell you something. I served in the military 24 years, and I know the National Guard up and down, back and forth, all the way around. First off, they're gonna have a huge pay problem. I know how the system works. They're gonna have a huge pay problem where they're not gonna get their checks like they're supposed to. It's gonna uproot and mess up their insurance in many cases on their jobs. Many jobs are not gonna want to take them back. And they're gonna have mass reporting issues. When I tell you it's gonna be messed up because you pulling these guys off of their regular life, some of them right in the middle of football seasons with their kids. Some of the parents right in the middle of their jobs as teachers, as professionals at their companies. They ain't gonna want to be there. And what are they doing? That's the question.
Donald Trump claimed that he had to deploy thousands of National Guard troops to Washington, D.C. to deal with what he called a crime emergency. Apparently, the crime emergency is so bad that National Guard members are now picking up trash across the nation's capital. Officials say it's part of a broader, quote, beautification and restoration mission. Now, we're all here at this table for city beautification, but I'm not sure that I'd call it a crime emergency. According to the Associated Press, deploying troops to D.C. for a crime emergency that's actually not a crime emergency will cost an estimated $1 million a day. For you, that's your money. Perhaps then, it's no surprise that new polling from Quinnipiac finds a majority of Americans opposing the president's military takeover of the city.
And see, okay, just imagine you National Guard and you saying, okay, we going here to fight crime, and they got you out here policing. I mean, they ain't even policing. I mean, it's policing, but it's not policing. It's picking up trash, cutting down weeds, doing basically just, I ain't gonna call it free labor, but I am gonna call it free labor. But here's the thing. You know why they got to do it here?
Why?
Because they cut the budget to the park services in DC. So they went from 200 park service workers that normally be out there picking up trash, cutting grass, trimming the edges and all of that. They went from 200 to 20.
200 to 20?
They went from 200 park service employees to 20.
So he already had this plan about bringing the. He had to. How 20 people gonna serve the?
It ain't no way.
DC.
It ain't no way. That's what I'm saying. But okay, then you heard the guy. The guy said they're gonna have pay problems. Now I'm waiting to see, and I'm gonna count up the days. You know, they have to when you get called up on the National Guard, you know, you have to be called up for 30 days to get your full package of benefits, like, you know, housing, insurance, and all of that. So, you know, they did the other people wrong. They cut them off at 29 days. Then waited a day and then reactivated them.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't hear that part.
I have. So you have to. Now, don't get me wrong. Crime is bad. I ain't gonna say everywhere, but almost everywhere. Crime is bad here in Memphis. We can't deny it. We can't try to say it's something that it's not. It's bad. It's bad in St. Louis. I'm sure I've been reading up on what's that? Chicago. We already know it's bad up there. They call it what, Chirac and all of that.
Chirac, yeah.
So we know that. We understand that. But to deploy them and then to use them in you know, in something other than actually fighting crime, that's an outrage. I mean, and it's because you dropped the ball when you cut the park services. I mean, what did you think the park services did?
I, I, I guess what I'm asking is were they really supposed to be there to stop crime or just do a little bit of both? I mean, was that already like, hey, crime ain't really that bad, but y'all can serve us two purposes. I already cut it down to 20 park workers, so if it ain't no crime going on, y'all can help. I mean, was it one of those type of scenario?
Man, they signed up to clean up the city, not clean the city. I'm just saying, man, you have to think about this stuff. Like, I mean, could it have been a situation where they were like, hey, we cut park services. Now it looked trashy around the White House and downtown. Why is that? Oh, because you cut park services. We only have 20 people and they doing the best they was doing. So how could I get some temporary people in there to do that? Hey, let's send the National Guard in there and let them do it. I ain't saying that's exactly what they did, but that's what it's turned into. So,
well, how you saving money though? If don't you still got to pay the National Guard for their time? So you cutting back on.
You think they getting what the Park Service people were getting?
Well, I don't know what the park
and they only there. I mean, come on, Park Service. It's like working for the city of Memphis. It's like working for MLG&W or something like that. That's considered a good job.
Okay, all right.
And when you talking the National Guard, they coming in. Like I said, they only there at max 30 days. So what's gonna happen when the brushes and the grass and everything start growing back, which is probably finna be fall season, so it might not be that much. Maybe the 20 can handle it. I don't know, but it's still, and I'm trying to slowly get into why I don't think it's a good idea to have them, even with all the crime and all of that. So, I mean, we ain't got that many people in the audience today, so we ain't gonna get too many comments. Don't look like. So what we can do is just go ahead and go to this next video because it's just each one is leading up to my point. So here we go.
AG in DC, Janine Pirro, has now announced that they will not be charging felonies for people openly carrying rifles and shotguns down the street, which was previously a chargeable offense.
So, critical thinking exercise. In the comments, what demographic do we feel is more likely to possess rifles and shotguns?
Why would they do that now when they have 3 groups of National Guardsmen from 3 different states that are there to control the teenage crime wave? It's because the crime wave doesn't exist, so they have to create a way to escalate tensions. Because I can guarantee you that if you're my complexion, you probably won't have a problem walking down DC streets with a rifle. But if you're not my complexion, I would bet someone's going to call the cops on you and federal troops are going to show up. And this is an attempt to escalate violence so that they can enact martial law and take emergency powers in the executive branch. Pay attention to this story. It's really important. Keep in mind, this is coming after a man threw a Subway sandwich and is getting arrested and charged with a felony. He threw a sandwich, but the rifles and the shotguns are okay. This is a deliberate attempt to escalate already pre-existing tension. You cannot play by the rules with people who do not think the rules apply to them. People who will actually cause physical, permanent harm if you cross them, if you try to take their power from them. They do not care about the rules, and you cannot bring your fists to a gunfight.
A lot of interesting points.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't be moving step for step with them. You got to be thinking ahead of what are they planning? What is the ultimate goal? Now, if it's been against the law all this time to be able to open carry in DC, why all of a sudden now, like she said, you got 3 units of National Guard there. So now how is it okay to just open carry? We know from here, Terry, once they had it here, what happened? Crime shot up, right?
Yeah,
it was already bad, but once they, kind of got a little lenient with the gun laws and
enabled them, empowered them,
it got worse, right? So,
yeah.
so what do you think's finna happen up there?
You would think that he's looking for casualties.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Or
we can't.
hoping for casualties.
I don't want to say hoping, because hoping.
I don't want to say it either, but
that's-
based off of what you just said, I mean, you sort of like, I know I'm bringing the troops. I know they can do that what they want with their weapons. It's like I know what's finna happen. I'm like,
yeah, but
neither side is gonna back down, as you can see, like we had in the 901 day. Everything was beautiful till they shot up the 901 day. Crazy.
and a reason why I wouldn't attend anything
Right.
like that here in Memphis, because it's supposed to be at least this one day everything's supposed to be okay. It can go back to chaos afterwards, but
Right.
this 901, this one particular day, but somebody always got to ruin it. Always got to ruin it. But the other thing that goes with that, Terry, is what Amanda Seals was saying. Who is more likely to have shotguns and rifles? I mean,
Is that a rhetorical question?
let's just be for real. Let's just be for real. Blacks they probably want the 9s and the Glocks and all of that. The whites want the rifles and the shotguns. They prefer. So you got to think, it ain't for just today. It ain't for just today. It's for the future. When these elections come up, I can open carry.
So let me ask you a question on that then. So Trump can't run no more. So are you saying that the laws can't be changed? Just say if we got a Democrat in office or a upstanding Republican. I mean, so just because Trump made all these laws, can't they be undone? I thought when the new president come in, they can undo all that crazy stuff. If it's crazy, they can undo that stuff and sort of. Can't the gun laws change? I mean, once we get in
the hope is that we stick with the Constitution and Trump isn't able to run again. But as he stated, and as his supporters have stated, they're working on that already. They're working to get around that. Or let's say, hey, I got the military in my pocket. I got control. I got control here. I got control there. I don't care if I do lose the election. I ain't going nowhere. Then what?
What you mean he ain't going nowhere?
I mean, okay, he said
he wasn't gonna leave the White House the last time. They got him up out of there.
Yeah, but what happened? What led to that? You had an insurrection, right? You had an insurrection. It was after some casualties. It was pretty much put under control. They weren't able to get to the people they were looking for. I ain't gonna allege what they were trying to do or what they were gonna do, but they didn't get to those people. And he eventually, after Congress was back in session and the final tally was tallied and it was determined that he lost, he ain't had no choice but to leave. But what if it's different this time? What if he got National Guard, military on his side?
Yeah, well, that's gonna be scary then.
And now it's open carry, so I can have my weapon. Can't nobody stop me from having my weapon. You got the National Guard, they on your side. So if you come in, come on in. They want to take this election from me. Now the hope would be that he wouldn't even be able to run. But who thought he was gonna be able to run this last election?
That's true.
A felon, 34 felons. Who would have thought that he would be able to run this time? So to even put the thought out there, and then you're saying little stuff like, well, some people are saying, if I can get crime down, they don't mind a dictator. Maybe I just should be a dictator. Not that I want to be a dictator, but if that's what the people want, okay, now let me look at the numbers and statistics. Crime rate is actually down. I'm assuming that you're talking about DC, and that's fine if it is. But who doing crime when you got all this National Guard presence? So what's gonna happen when they leave? That's the question I keep asking. They there for 30 days. So the criminals know that. You think the criminals don't know? Hey, these folks gonna be here for at least 30 days. Let's chill.
Let's take vacation.
We'll chill for 30 days. Then when they leave, let's look at the crime rate 30 days after they leave. Now, hopefully you will, you know, in a perfect world, you would hope, okay, it wouldn't increase. It would stay low or continue to go lower. Oh, come on, Terry. We know. We know.
Oh, yeah. How your life has changed since he's been in office.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. See, when you make statements like that, even I could make up some. I could name some stuff and say this or say that, but we ain't talking about right now. We talking about what could possibly happen in the future, and hopefully it don't. And I told you personally, I said, man, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it don't get to that. Yep. I hope I don't never have to answer these questions and say, I remember when we had a free election and whoever won was declared the winner. Now we got a dictatorship. I hope it never comes to that.
So I take it Mr. Scott is a Trump supporter and supports his way. Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to understand exactly, you know, what's going on and what I'm reading. And everybody, you know, this show, everybody's entitled to their opinion, their beliefs. We don't try to push our beliefs on nobody else, as well as nobody's going to try to push their beliefs on us. And
see, there you go. Now I'm bashing because I'm making statements that you don't agree with. But nothing. So if you in the National Guard, you think it's just perfectly fine for them to be up there, picking up trash and cutting the grass. That's what they were sent there for. You okay with that? And we was in the military, so if you was in the military and they sent you on that detail, how would you feel? Well, he a Trump supporter, so it don't matter. If he asks him to wash his drawers, he'll be okay with it. I mean, Chris, I already told you know we had these conversations. We talked about you know when you looking at it, even if it ain't directly affecting me, ask some people, ask some of the voters that voted for him who family members have been deported somewhere. Ask them how they feel, how it's affected them in the 6 or 7 months that he's been in office. Ask some of these people after midterm elections when they get kicked off of Medicaid and Medicare, and I ain't talking about the ones who don't deserve to be on there. I'm talking about the ones who do. When they get kicked off, what then? Ask the people who these rural hospitals are going to be closed down because they're not going to have funding. Ask them people then how they feel about what's been going on now. That's and it ain't got to directly affect me. If it's affecting anybody, then it should be a problem. So that's my answer to that. I can't pinpoint something and directly say it's affected me so far, but I'm sure down the line I'll be able to. But it's people right now that could give you a whole list of things that has hampered them. It's showing up here. I see a thing. What she got on there? Change your background first. Change your background, show enough. She just woke up. I can tell she just woke up. Change that background. We're finna bring you on. You late. You late to the game. Hold on. What we gonna do right now? This is a perfect opportunity. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And show enough will probably be on here when we get back.
Are you in need of a trusted notary to legalize your important documents? Look no further than Terry Williams Notary Services. Whether it's affidavits, real estate documents, business agreements, or binding marriage certificates, you sign it, he'll seal it. With a commission in the state of Tennessee, he provides reliable, accurate, and professional notary service. For fast, friendly, and professional service, contact Terry Williams Notary Services today. Call 901-503-0564 or email twilliams7296@gmail.com.
All right, man. Show me some love. Show me some love. Show me some love.
Will Notary Service. You can be reached at 901-503-0564 or twilliams7296@gmail.com. He is commissioned in Tennessee.
Thank you so much.
All your notary needs. T. Will, he got you.
Thank you, sir.
No questions asked.
Yeah, I have mine. Hold on.
Let's see. Well, try taking a trip to Japan and see if you can stay there. Now, y'all know the inside on the Japan thing. So what is Mr. Scott trying to say?
I don't know.
See,
look, okay. It's the freaking National Guard. What does that mean? See, it's starting off with the National Guard, but he's talking about bringing in Marines, military, and all of this. So you can't. You knocking the National Guard for the things that they come in and do. They not, for one, they not trained for coming in to police a city anyway. So that's your first mistake. I don't know what the Japan reference is.
Mr. Scott is very, very opinionated today. I see.
He always is when he on here. That's why I love him.
Oh, okay.
He gonna say what he gotta say.
It's real talk.
It's real talk. He gonna talk, and I love it. I love it. So now we don't play 2 videos, so you don't miss them. But basically, we were talking about, how they called in the National Guard in one video. They called them in, and now we find out that they in DC cutting grass, trimming hedges, picking up trash, and all of that. Basically because they cut park services there in the DC area from 200 employees down to 20. So hey, but it is what it is.
Oh boy. I mean, it's a shit show, and they know it.
Yeah, it's all that I'm finna give them credit. I'm finna give them some credit. They strategic in what they're doing. And if anyone took the time, and I think I said it on one previous shows, if anybody took the time to read the Project 2025, they doing exactly. They going exactly by their playbook. So I give them that. They got a plan and they're executing it. So now Americans, people who in Congress, on the Democratic side, either they're going to react or it's going to be a full takeover.
What's up, Miss Denise? What's up, Miss Denise?
But see, that's the problem. It's not a communist country. And a lot of the stuff that he's trying to do, he's doing it against the Constitution. And his thing is, well, I'm going to just do it. Then y'all just got to take me to court. So that's just like that. He just lost the being able to do the tariffs without congressional approval. He just lost it. But guess what? They saying, okay, well, we gonna still leave them on for right now. We're gonna give you a little time to come back with and appeal it before we strike it, and it have to go back to the way it was. So he just putting everything out there. I'm just gonna do this, whether it's constitutional or not. I'm gonna do it, and hopefully I can get some of it to just go ahead and go through.
Absolutely.
Now, when you got the Supreme Court on your side, it makes it a little bit easier.
And he put them in place to be on his side.
Exactly. That's why I said you, as much as you can dislike them, you got to give them credit you got to give somebody credit for being smart enough to actually make a plan and actually put it into effect where it's basically working.
Yep.
So now here's the next one, Terry. This one right here, Terry, is what you were saying, and this where these cities have to be careful.
See, it's a setup. They want you to be emotional. They want you to be upset. They want you to carry. They want you to be present when the National Guard show up. It's a setup. Trump is using the National Guard to be his sacrificial pawns to start martial law. They want the anger. They want the unrest. He's even said no persecutions for anybody that's carrying rifles or shotguns. Control your anger. Control your temper. He's literally putting the National Guard on display, hoping that we, the people, attack our own military. Deploying the National Guard is a tactic that he's using to try to get the American people to attack our National Guard. Don't let that happen. He's wanting our U.S. troops to be attacked so he can shut down the country. This unlocks a whole lot of different authorities that he gets as president when this happens. This person is literally so evil that he will attempt to sacrifice our military on our ground to get his agenda across. He don't care about our military. He don't care about our National Guard. He don't care about our armed forces. He care about his agenda.
Bottom line.
Bottom line.
Bottom line.
It's just the bottom line. It's a setup. And you got to think about it. When you're in the military, you're supposed to be trained, and you know, we ain't. You're not really trained to be passive in the military. It's more aggressiveness than it is just being passive and you know. But I hope that none of these young crazy people do something stupid that kicks off the military or the National Guard having to shoot back at civilians.
You know, I had to think about what you said like last week when my statement was, yeah, I'm ready, bring the troops on. And I see what you're saying, and then based off of that that little shot we just heard from old guy, I guess I was going into it to know, with the mentality thinking everything was going to be done the right way, and that how bad Memphis is, that we are such a desperate stage of trying to get somebody to stop these young folks out here. My mentality thinking like, yeah, come and save us type of thing, like. I mean,
yeah, that would be the hope for all of us. If okay, what y'all think about the Scorpion unit? Let's just read what the Scorpion unit was supposed to be. Not what they were. What it was supposed to be. The Scorpion is short for Street Crimes Operation to Restore Peace in Our Neighborhoods. It was a specialized police unit in Memphis focused on reducing crime in high crime areas. So the thought of what it was supposed to be was what we needed. But again, you put the wrong people in place. They ain't got no checks and balances. And they took something that could have been good and they made it bad.
Yep. And
I'm saying, like, I think I live in a decent neighborhood. I'm not saying there ain't no crime at all over here. We got some car break-ins and stuff like that. Okay, why y'all over here? Why y'all over here?
Why they ain't in my neighborhood?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. So the point that I'm saying is we could have had those units properly trained to know how to, don't escalate stuff, but to be okay. That's like, okay, let's and I'm jumping around a little bit, but let's say you bring the National Guard here. Let me ask you this, Sharita. What was the chances that the National Guard was going to be on your street when that shooting happened in your neighborhood?
They wasn't going to be here.
Thank you.
They wasn't going to be here. They were going to be downtown, or they were going to be possibly Germantown or something. See, they would have put them where they looked aesthetically correct. They weren't going, because they really don't want them to meet that type of crime. They don't want them to see that. They don't want them to have to engage with that, because that's really not why they're sending them.
The National Guard shouldn't see that anyway. They shouldn't be a part
Absolutely.
of it.
Absolutely.
That's just being honest.
And go back to what you said about the Scorpion unit. I absolutely would have. See, when we say, bring in the Guard, what we really should have been saying was bring back Scorpion trained with oversight. That's what we need to be saying, because we do need we need them. We need the Scorpion unit doing what they're doing, walking up on people. What you doing? Why you ain't supposed to be doing that? And that's who you send out for that. Not the National Guard.
And see, even with that, it's always a way to do things, because that's part of the difference of policing here and policing in other countries like Japan. Since you brought Japan up, Chris, like Japan, a police officer is there to prevent crime from happening, not to instigate people into, like, if I walk up on a group of people, depending on how I approach them, that's how they're gonna reciprocate back to me.
Absolutely.
If I come up and I'm like, hey fellas, what's going on, man? How y'all doing tonight? We just out here patrolling, trying to keep the streets safe. If y'all need anything or y'all need some help, or here go my car, give me a call, I'll be more than happy. Not walking up, hey bro, what you doing?
Right. What's in that cup? What's in that cup? Yeah, what you smoking?
And then 9 times out of 10, okay, even if they smoking some or they drinking something they ain't supposed to be, if it's something they ain't like some what you call it, the lean or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta overlook that stuff to get their trust.
Absolutely.
And then once they trust you, then they know, oh, he ain't with the BS. He here to really help. So then you will have people in the community that'll reach out to you and say, hey, look here, down the street, 3 houses, you need to go check that out, because there's always some suspicious going on over there. That's how you slowly get into it. And you're not just there for a temporary period of time. They gonna be there to keep providing
oversight of the community,
crime reduction.
Yeah. They used to do that. Lieutenant Grant, I always bring him up. I always will bring him up because they did community policing when they had these what do you call them? The little police stations in the neighborhoods and stuff. When it wasn't nothing for them to be driving by and doing exactly what you said. What's up? What y'all got anything for me? What's up? What's going on? Anything we need to be looking into? Anybody need to be looking at? And they gained the trust of the neighborhoods that they were in. And it wasn't nothing for people to not even be afraid to walk directly up to the police precinct, the little small precincts that they had, and give them information on what.
Because they want their community to be safe.
And they did not play. Now, when they didn't play, they ain't play. But they did stuff. They didn't come in like that. They didn't do that. They had, even did stuff for the kids, gave away stuff, school supply. That's how you come into a community like this and win their trust, and then in turn solve crimes.
Exactly. That's the simple way. That's the and that way, of course, it takes a little longer. But you have to build that trust up, and they have to know that you ain't just somebody in here who trying to strong arm everybody and this and that. Now this statement you saying brought up Japan. I said try to go on vacation there and stay longer. I'm assuming we're talking about immigration now. So if people are let me make this as clear as I can make it, because I thought I already did. If people are here illegally and aren't doing what they're supposed to do to stay here, then yes, let's get rid of them Let's pick those people up and let's deport them. And if they want to come back, they have to come back the right way. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is you got people who have actually been doing what they're supposed to be doing, but it just takes so long. But they're going to every meeting they're supposed to go to. They're going through whatever process they're supposed to go through, and you're trying to deport them. That's just not right. That's not what America is supposed to be built on. Now, the ones who doing harm and this and that, you ain't heard nobody say, no, let them stay. But at the same time, if they doing so bad, let's have due process. Let's still do what our Constitution says. Let's have due process. If that guy they said that did all that stuff, okay, let's take him to jail. Let's prove he MS-13. Where your proof at? Let's prove he sex trafficking and all. Let's prove it. And if you prove it in court, then yes, let's ship him back to where he came from. I don't have a problem with that.
Right, and not make up lies.
Yeah, just grabbing people, and then it's the way they carry themselves. See, that's what I'm saying. When you got people that because they got a little badge, because they got a little power, and they just take advantage of it. Them same people, you meet them on the street when they by themselves, they some cowards.
Absolutely.
They hide behind them badges. They cowards though.
Shit. And they being paid handsomely to do it. But you don't have any money. You cutting Medicaid, you cutting Medicare, but you have no money.
They got the money. Okay, we ain't got no money, but we finna build a $200 million ballroom at the White House. For what?
Because he ain't going nowhere.
Like somebody said, when do you build a $200 million ballroom and move out?
He ain't going nowhere.
So,
and they're gonna justify that. When you call Chris, talk about that too. Just try to justify the fact that he ain't going nowhere. He said, "What's the phone? Run the number." 901-214-5848.
I hope that number's still good. Somebody called me today and said I was playing on their phone.
Oh, somebody probably got that number. But we just used it last week.
We ain't used it in a couple of weeks, but it normally tell you if it's not good.
Right.
So yeah, I was and she was like, "Who called playing on my phone?" I said, I haven't called you. She was like, well, somebody just called from this Google number. I said, man, that sounds like my podcast number. I said, but I haven't called you. I said, I don't even know how to call out from a Google number.
Right.
So it wasn't me. Well, I don't appreciate nobody calling on. I said,
oh
man,
my God.
I said, trust me, I don't like that either. So I would never do anybody like that.
Now that's a great statement, Randolph. You know, if everybody just take time to just dive down and just see how deep this stuff goes, that I tend to agree with that. I never really just thought about it in that depth. Maybe a couple of the things, but I think he's right on the money with that.
I mean,
we know crime ain't going nowhere. We're not saying that.
But that's just like when people weren't worried about carjackings and home invasions until it started happening in Cordova and those areas. Now it's a problem. We got to do this and we got to do that. When it wasn't in their community, they didn't care. And I mean, that's just human nature, though. It's the same thing what I'm trying to tell Chris right now.
Hold on. He wants the number out loud again. 901-214-5848. 901-214-5848. Okay, sorry there. I just said it again, Chris. 901-214-5848. He must got a delay.
Well, he listening. He ain't watching.
He's listening. Yeah. And make sure when you call, whatever you're listening to, you turn it down, Chris. All the way down. Don't try to listen to yourself on whatever you're watching us on or listening to us on.
He finna have somebody else call.
Oh, that person.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm here for it tonight. I'm here
Right.
for it tonight.
Because there's just really nothing they could say. Nothing to justify dismantling the Constitution.
While we waiting on this phone call to come through, let's take another quick commercial break, and hopefully they'll call in and we'll be able to are they calling now? So scratch that.
Call from
Sable Wingers.
I didn't get that name. Could you repeat that, please?
Sable Wingers.
How you doing this evening?
Very well. How about you?
I'm doing great.
What's the discussion on today?
The discussion is on whether the National Guard should be sent to various cities throughout the country to lower crime.
Yeah, I understand that. I would say yes, just for temporary sake.
Okay.
Would you say different?
Yes, I would say different, because I think what they're doing is positioning people to get used to seeing National Guard, seeing tanks and armored vehicles, making it, normalizing it, so that in the future, when you see it, you don't pay as much attention to it as you would now. Like when we see it now, it's like, damn, what? Like we see it going by on the trains here in Memphis sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, damn, where all them tanks and Humvees going and stuff like that. So it kind of piques your curiosity a little bit, but it ain't nothing where you're like, okay, they finna station here and be here and this and that. Now, you
okay. Are you familiar with the role that the National Guard was supposed to play on January the 6th?
Yes, I am.
All right. So how are we calling for the National Guard for a bunch of potbelly white men in the mall at Washington? But then when we get down into these blood and crip infested communities where women, single moms are trapped, where teenage boys are trapped, why would we start off being worried about a strong central government coming down on one of the state governments?
Because if you got an insurrection in the national capital, that's a National Guard issue and a military issue.
Well,
that's
all right. Did y'all know that Donald Trump on the day of January 6th actually asked for 10,000 troops, and Nancy Pelosi, who at the time was the Speaker of the House, denied it?
I don't know if he asked for 10,000, and it wasn't the day
He
of.
did.
It wasn't the day
No,
of.
it wasn't.
The day before. He asked.
He asked for it beforehand.
Okay,
so what he was trying to do was promote safety.
Okay. So
See, the one word that in these discussions that never comes up is where's your concern for the people? Now we talking legal doctrine, which I understand what you're trying to say, and I do agree. I don't like the federal government being too heavy-handed. But why is it that, particularly in the Black community, how are we so tolerant of such strong federal government all the way until it comes up to safety? Then all of a sudden it doesn't matter now. See, in other words, we are dehumanizing the victims that live in these communities, and we're only perpetuating the stereotype that Black people are not only highly violent, but we tolerate violence.
Okay, let me go back to your first point. Okay, if President Trump asked for 10,000 troops the day before, that kind of okay. So who was finna be violent? The next question I would say is okay.
He wasn't.
Hold on, even
ask you an honest question.
Hold on. Even if Nancy Pelosi turned it down, that's fine. Okay, so the next day, when we're actually having an insurrection, what took him so long to activate them then?
Okay, number one, I think you have a very poor definition for insurrection. And insurrection is that which is up. Excuse me. An insurrection is that which upsets the franchise of the United States of America. And that was nowhere close to that. In fact, if you really pay careful attention on an hour-by-hour raw narrative without voiceovers, what you'll find is they caught, one of them's name was Chris Stevens, they caught a lot of FBI inside of that crowd trying to corral those people. Now, there was a small handful that got out of hand. Of course, they deserve to be punished. But, what I'm saying is I do not understand how we can tolerate an insurrection in Southside Chicago, in Baltimore, in the nation's capital. These are small insurrections here. You got Haitian drug lords basically overtaking entire projects. And we worried about an insurrection. Man, we ain't even at a place right now that we need to be talking about the whole government.
Oh, okay.
Black people need to pay attention to their hood.
Hold on, and I agree with that, but I'm gonna say this: how can you say that wasn't an insurrection when those people had zip ties to tie up people? They had maps trying to find Nancy Pelosi, trying to find the vice president.
Man, I'm scared, man.
Okay,
man.
That's what I'm saying.
Scared. Zip ties, man. See, man, but look, watch this, bro. You sensitive, and you talking about zip ties. I'm talking about guns in your hood.
Okay.
No. Stay on topic.
No. I'm not. Listen to what I'm saying.
The definition of an insurrection is when the government.
When you're trying to overthrow the election process. Right. That is an insurrection. When you're trying to, when you're looking for the people.
But hold on, bro. I'm with you. I'm with you on the definition now.
So to say
what I'm trying to tell you is you are unable to apply that to this. All you can do is listen to reporters telling you that. Sometimes we don't believe our own lying eyes. Sometimes
we saw it. We saw it. What do you mean?
Listen, baby. Listen. Hey.
I'm not your baby. I'm not your baby. My name is Shownuff.
Look, I understand, but you are acting like one right now. So hold on.
No, your mama acting like one.
I'm trying to tell you.
Your mama acting like one. Now, if you want to go there, that's where we want to go. But what you're not going to do is come on this show. Now, you listen. This is our show. This is not your show.
Using the distractionary method. I get you mad now. You mad. And so now we can't have a conversation because you don't want me to make my point.
No,
you're over talking us. You're over talking us on the show.
Y'all have talked the whole while. I'm trying to introduce another thought to show that there's a perspective you guys are missing.
You're introducing lies.
It's the reason why black folk cannot run
You're
a lot
introducing
of
lies.
We too sensitive.
You're introducing lies.
Well, let's see if it's a lie.
You've been lying since you got on the phone.
See, you can't
listen. You can just say that. That's
hold on.
You just say that, but there's no reason or logic behind this because you guys can't bear anybody having an opposing point of view. This is why our city council.
This is why.
That's why we cut your ass off. Now, the point I'm trying to make to him is, I don't mind you saying what you got to say, but you can't jump from one subject, then you jump to another subject. And you just jumping around without giving us the opportunity to address the first one. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is for you to say that wasn't even an insurrection. You lost me right there. And that's not being sensitive. They call it an insurrection. So for you to even have the audacity to say it was nowhere near an insurrection is just ludicrous to me. Now, I agree with you. It's something that needs to be done about the hood or bad areas in cities. And we can try to figure out what's the best way. My point is bringing in the National Guard and the military is not the best way to do that. We just had the U.S. Marshals came in here into Memphis and worked with the local police department, and they captured 164 people who was on most wanted lists and all of this. Didn't nobody even know they was here, but they got the job done. So I'm with you on saying that we do need to concentrate on the hood, on our neighborhoods, on our cities and all of that. And I don't think that the government, if it's times that the government should step in and it's time that the government should stay out. With the crime and stuff that's going on, I don't think that the government should be into that right now. It's too much other stuff going on. Now, if you're still on the phone, I'm finna cut the thing. I'm finna cut the volume back up and I'm gonna let you say what you need to say.
Okay, the first thing is everything you just said is exactly what almost memorized stuff. What I'm trying to show you is if you approach this from a nonpartisan perspective, you will understand that there are times that when someone is upsetting and overthrowing a local government where police officers are not able to safely go into neighborhoods to be able to support people, when the ambulance doesn't want to go there, there's much more death in that situation than you could have ever imagined on January the 6th. Now, it's amazing how the National Guard would not be employed on that day, which is actually evidence that the president wanted to remain stable. He also made public live comments indicating this is nonviolent. We are not going to do that. And the problem is the rest of America is looking on how we talk about these types of issues. And they're saying these people can't run civil infrastructure very well. We're not very good at it. We don't think on the level that we ought to. And that's the reason why another culture had to build this country. It's because they had 3,500 years of mistakes that they were making. They gleaned from people like Moses. They gleaned from the Romans. They gleaned from the ancient Greeks. They took all of that culture and they came up with a balance for three powers that would constitute a federal government. And the problem is because we are not acquainted with exactly how that government works, we have the luxury of sitting back in our ignorance, willful ignorance, by the way, because we don't do research. We listen to other people all the time that affirm our opinion. And what it does, it grabs your emotion then. And when emotion gets involved, it becomes that which makes it impossible for people to be able to have an intelligent conversation. And listen, I do want to also apologize. I didn't mean any harm by the word baby. All right. Where I come from, that's a term of endearment. So to go off on that exit ramp, the emotional exit ramp, is proof that we are not really able to have an effective conversation because we don't want to.
No. Let me interject. You're once again, you're lying. I'm calling you a liar straight to your face. You're
what is that going for? You just bring the emotion again.
I'm interjecting.
Info and emotion.
You want to talk about history. In history and in your ignorance, you know as well as I do that using that term to a Black woman is disrespectful. You were trying to belittle me.
I've been called baby by women that are.
You're gonna stop. You're gonna let me listen. You're gonna let me finish.
I let you talk. You're gonna judge my intention. You can't read my heart. You can't read my heart. We're supposed to be talking about the idea.
Did I let him talk?
But can you teach me something, please? Can you teach me something?
Okay, hold on.
Teach me something.
Let me be the teacher. I don't know how y'all do it there where you're at, but we don't go around just calling anybody baby here.
Look at what we're talking about. One word that was said 10 minutes ago. You are proving my point.
You brought it back up. Okay, why did
we
you
have a cultural problem?
Why did you apologize then?
Because I wanted her to put it to the side so we can focus on the subject matter.
It was to the side until you brought it back up. She had said what she had to say about it. We were done with it.
Because I wanted to help her to be able to focus on the subject matter.
She wanted you to focus on the subject matter versus calling her baby or sweetheart or any of those things.
Bring it up? Don't worry about it.
Don't
worry about it then. Talk to me about this. Because look at how much time you waste. This is why I'm telling you, Negroes cannot have
Negroes like you can't have
Negroes like you
because you want to just you just want to have a platform and just talk, and then when we agree, when we agree or disagree, you get upset because we're not agreeing with what you're saying. We're letting you say what you want to say. Hold on. You questioning our intelligence. You're saying that we're what was the term you used?
Man, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't mean no harm about what I'm saying.
You said we were ignorant.
Y'all the ones. No, I did say y'all were acting like children, and it's because y'all are just using offense to push a conversation forward.
No, how are you saying? But
Wash it out of your head and focus on
you using the same talking points
They're MAGA
that other people use. So it's so nothing that you're saying is original. About them now. Nothing that you're saying is original. Nothing that is original.
And you're not listening. You're only talking. You're not listening. You're not listening
talking
at
about
all.
little words.
You just want to get out what you're saying. You just want to get out what you're saying.
I want y'all to see what you're disagreeing with.
Okay, what is your,
I want y'all to see what you're disagreeing with.
What is your solution to crime in the neighborhood?
Hey, the first thing, it's the same thing Jesus' solution was. If you do it God's way, it will come out the right way. Y'all, what has happened to us as blacks is we have turned against our creator. In this country, the United States, we believe government is our salvation, and that's why we're paying out of our noses for it. In your Bible and my Bible, it says male and female created he them. First chapter. We'll get upset about Donald Trump using a pejorative and insulting somebody, but we'll swallow the transgender movement, the gay rights movement, and vote right with these people. You build a house from the inside out. It starts with the man is married to the woman, having children in wedlock. Who's talking about that? Nobody. Who's talking about? We always talk about the community. We always talk about the government. But God didn't build a community or a government in the beginning. He built a man. And out of that man came a woman. And then out of that woman came their children. We are very tolerant of things that are totally opposite of what we claim we believe. We vote on Tuesday evening for that which we preach against on Sunday morning. And for that, we are hypocrites. And we are suffering because we are hypocrites. We are not the same as our forefather. My grandfather was born in 1906. The way he lived his life is totally different from his great-great-grandchildren. And it's because the values have changed. And then while we running around here getting offended by everything, we're not offended by the stuff that tears houses up. Our race is supposed to be have another 40 to 45 million people in it, but black women have been killing their children, holding it up as a mark of pride since abortion was made available in the 70s. So the number one killer of black people is the black woman.
Oh, Jesus.
I believe Black Lives Matter. I believe that it matters so much, brother, so much, that I'm willing to stand up for the innocent black lives.
Okay, let me.
Man, ain't worried about no.
Okay, let me ask you something right quick. This your first time?
Yes,
you ain't
sir.
never watched this show or had any other conversation?
Man, I have no idea who I'm talking to.
Right.
I don't know who you guys are.
Okay, so
maybe y'all should just introduce yourself.
No. We did at the beginning of the show. I'm Daryl. This T-Will. This show enough. But here's what I'm finna say to you. Here's what I'm finna say to you. All those things you said, we preach that on the show every week. Every week we preach that same thing. What you saying? We're God-fearing people. We're God-fearing people. But you said all of that, and so you telling me it ain't no grandmamas and mamas and pastors in the hood preaching and praying for their neighborhood to be better?
Man,
that's not a solution.
That's a good question. No, honestly, that's a good question, brother. And I want to answer it. Every time we get a black person that actually has learned something that can really affect the whole race, we find a way to kill them or run them out of town. It's something in us that when our own messiahs come, we crucify them. Marcus Garvey, although I don't agree with all of his belief system, he provided one solution. He bought 4 ships and he said, anybody want to go back to Africa, let's go. See, we'll sit in this white man's kingdom here that he wrote the laws for. He set up the government and he fought a war against another group of white people to set up. But by us not understanding how this system works, it makes it easier for us to misunderstand it. Have you ever noticed that nobody ever knows the name of these babies that are getting killed in these urban conclaves? Stray bullets. We don't know nothing about their name, but we know Trayvon. We know George Floyd. See, if you show us a Barabbas, we love them. Give unto us Barabbas. Do you realize that in the New Testament, that you read every Sunday, Jesus was teaching the kingdom of God and morality. You living the kingdom of God out in your personal life. He didn't even deal with politics at all. The Christians of today are political. We're looking for salvation, and in doing so, we're making flesh our arm, and we look for salvation in the federal government. So when they bought the community organizer of the day out, Mr. Barabbas, and then they bought Jesus out, how about this minority group called the Jews, who were being oppressed by this white Roman man, actually chose the community activists? And I believe history is repeating itself. We're going to have to make a choice on whether we want to be black or whether we want to be Christians first. And I believe that what has happened since the 1960s is we have put them on par with each other. And my message to you tonight is no man can serve two masters. You got to love one or hate the other one. The Bible said in the book of Hebrews that if Abraham had really been concerned about where he come from, he might have looked for a reason to return where he came from. We are always backwards looking as a people. And I'm seeing how bad it's hurting us. Huh?
No.
I'm just trying to show you.
No.
I'm trying to show you what happened to our culture.
No, okay.
Your opinion of what happened.
No, I'm giving you facts.
No. Okay.
Go back and look them up.
Even if it's facts, the question was, what is the solution? And you still haven't gave us the solution.
I did. I told you to go back to the owner's manual.
Okay, so obviously
you can't beat that. You can't beat that.
Okay. Well,
it's not a civil answer to this. Humans are irrevocably evil. All of us are.
But when we're sitting here and we got this problem and we're trying to solve it, we need actual solution to say, okay, turn to your Bible, turn to this page. That's not a solution. Because everybody's
so not going in real life, don't you?
So everybody's not gonna do that. Everybody's not gonna believe in God and Jesus. Everybody is not on that same page. So
then guess what?
So if I'm over here,
my point is this: you still trying to come up with a plan of salvation outside of Jesus. I don't have one.
No. Salvation.
I don't have one.
Salvation and being in a safe neighborhood is two different things.
Two different things.
Me going to heaven or hell, me going to heaven or what y'all call hell is two different things from me trying to sit here and survive in the city that's plagued with crime. That's two different things. So what you're saying?
No, it's not.
It is. It's
I want
two
you to
different
listen
things.
to what I'm going to say. I'm going to show you.
It's two. No.
I understand you disagree.
No. I've enjoyed your conversation.
I understand you disagree, but what I'm trying to do is
I've enjoyed your conversation. We gave you more time than we gave anybody else, besides probably Mr. Holmes.
Look, all I'm saying is start believing in something bigger than being black. That's solution number one. Number two, start getting married before you have babies. Have babies with your husband or wife. Number three, try to help somebody else on a personal level. Listen, nobody's saying this. We're talking. See, this is what the problem is. We have all of these distractionary tactics. We get angry about little things in discussions like this, not realizing the true motives of the person that we're talking to are pure.
No, we spout lies.
First off,
we spout lies. That's
no, it ain't about lying. I don't think you're an evil person. I don't think you mean us no harm. I don't think you wish anything.
Do you think I mean well for black people?
In your own way, you do. In your own way, you
do.
It's
not, I didn't create none of this. I never told you.
Listen to what I'm saying.
That's your Jesus that you read about.
I read about more stuff than that. So I might have a whole different perspective than what you're
talking about.
I don't think
you can find anything better.
So your assumption.
I'm asking you. I just want to know. I got a question for you.
Assumption.
And I'm gonna be quiet and listen.
Your assumption.
Let me just ask you this. Do you know what? You tell me what philosophical base is going to be better than Jesus. Tell me.
Thomas, it was nice talking with you. We hope you join the show again.
Can't take it.
It's not good. It's not good. But you won't let us. You want to do all the talking, but you don't want to let us.
Don't want to listen.
Get a word in because you don't agree. No, you ain't telling me. You gone.
Bye, self-hater. Bye, self-hater.
Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I be talking about all the time. I don't mind having a conversation with you. but you're not going to be dismissive to me about what I'm saying. We asked him one simple thing. Give me a solution. Anybody can say, well, you just need to pray on it. No, praying on it ain't getting it done.
Exactly.
What's that Bible saying? Prayer without works is useless or whatever.
Exactly.
You know him better than I do. Cut your mic on.
Prayer without works is dead.
Okay, so if you're not out here actually doing it, praying ain't finna do no good. We all been to church. We all have respect for Jesus and God and that whole situation. We all have respect for that. But we on this earth and we living and we gotta survive. So how can we survive until we are gone? He couldn't answer that.
No.
He ain't had no solution for that. That's all I'm saying. We can have the conversation, but you can't think that you so much better than us because you quoting some Bible scriptures and you saying something about this and that you like we don't read. Ooh, I almost cursed. I read and look at stuff every day about religion, the government, laws, and all of that. So for him to even say that shows how ignorant he is.
Very.
Because we don't agree with his point of view. That's all it is. We don't agree with him, and we're not saying, yeah,
So
you're right. Because see, you can go to people that don't know no better, that's one track mind, and you can tell them all that stuff, and you can sound intelligent, and you can sound like you saying the right thing, but you really ain't saying nothing.
Nothing.
Y'all, I hate that. You got me all upset for no reason.
This is my thing though with it, Daryl. We are the United States of America. Everybody does not believe in God. Everybody is not a Christian. So to say that Christ is the answer is ludicrous and very unintelligent to say.
It's very unintelligent.
That was the stupidest thing. And when last time we seen the president in a church? All we ever see him doing is golfing. Now we ain't seen him in a church unless it's a funeral.
And then when you make statements like you can't serve two masters, I can't help that I'm black.
Thank you.
I can't help that I'm black. So why shouldn't I love my black race?
Oh, but they're serving Trump like he's God.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is me being a proud black man has nothing to do with my spirituality. It has nothing to do with it.
And spirituality shouldn't even be in the conversation. I thought there was separation of church and state. I thought you weren't supposed to bring religion into government. But that's what's happening. And then you choose Christianity as the one to use.
When you can't argue your point, you want to bring up God and Jesus. We asked him one simple question. It was one simple question. What is this? And I'm asking, I ain't asking to be no butthole. I'm asking because I really want to know what is the solution. Give me something that I can go with and say, my thing, and he wasn't on yet, was I think that the Scorpion unit would be a good thing if properly implemented within the Memphis City Police Department. I really believe it. I think that would be at least it would be a start. At least it would be a start, for you gonna go in. How many man, you see it, and it's no knock against Christians, it's no knock against people who believe in prayer and pray and they prayers come, but we need actions. We need something, cause guess what? The people out here who doing all this stuff, they ain't thinking about God or Jesus.
Exactly.
They don't want to hear it. They looking at their life and saying, it ain't never, my life is messed up. I don't see no hope, no future. Those are the things that we need to change to even get them to a level where they feel like, okay, let me try this Jesus thing. Let me try God. It takes something to get you there. You don't just automatically go there.
Because you open the Bible.
See, and I like debating, but I like constructive debating. Like we can go back and forth. You ask me something, I'm gonna answer, and you say something, I'm gonna comment. But you can't take the whole conversation, and you went from you went from our ignorance and not being able to read to this country wasn't built for us. Okay, it wasn't. We know that, but we're here. That's why they got amendments to the Constitution. So it's still not supposed to be for us.
No.
And for you to say, okay, well, just get on a ship and go back. How am I going back to somewhere I ain't never
been? Thank you.
You could take that 2-minute thing off the you could take that off.
That was it.
I don't think we ever have we ever had somebody come on the show that was less than 2 minutes.
I mean, we try to limit it to 2 minutes. I knew that was going to be more than 2 minutes because that was going to be a conversation. And my thing is, you know, and see it irks me like it irks me when people try to use that baby this and baby that. Don't try to pacify me like this. Like you that's almost being dismissive. And you don't
because he didn't address y'all as baby and honey.
But see, that's what I'm saying. You don't do that to a person that you're not familiar with.
Absolutely.
But now that he's, you know, hopefully, he'll come back on the show. He'll be a little more respectable, and we'll have a better dialect. Because I mean, I enjoy, like, anytime I can get some knowledge. And it's the same thing we say the same thing every week. If I can learn one thing that I didn't know, my job was accomplished on this show. If we can teach you one thing, or if I can learn one thing, that's positive. That's what we want. But calling us ignorant and saying we don't read and everything we say is scripted. Shit, everything he said sounded scripted to me.
Everything. I've heard it 1,000 times.
I heard it 1,000 times from people like him.
Yeah.
I've heard it from people like him. So when you
Tim Scotts of America.
You can't take it. No. I ain't, because this our platform. You're not gonna come in here and bogart and bulldoze us. You can't bulldoze me. I'm not a hospital in Gaza. I got that from my quit. I got that from somebody else.
Christopher thought that he was sending someone to put us in our place, to teach us something.
Yeah, I'm gonna send the black man to talk to y'all because y'all not listening to me because I'm white. That's basically what he did, which is fine. I don't mind that because he gonna get the same heat Chris ass was getting.
Exactly.
It's all said and done. He gonna get the same heat. If he says now, if he would have said something that was relevant and made sense, I would have been 100% like, you know what, buddy, you're right. I agree with you on that. I implement that into the show. I implement that into my life, but nothing he said made it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When he said that wasn't an insurrection, it just kind of threw me off. Then it just put me in a space where I was like, you got to be kidding me.
And then normal, what they do is, so no, that wasn't an insurrection. But in Chicago, that's an insurrection. But in so-and-so, that's an insurrection. You ain't concerned about what's happening. You go off script, the script that they listen to, and then with the MAGA talking points, because you know what you're saying is not making any sense.
Right.
And in turn, you try to make it seem like we don't care about our community or we don't care about the Black community, when in essence, you, sir, definitely don't care.
But to say the zip ties and all of that is irrelevant. Well, okay, what they have them for? They telling you they looking for Nancy Pelosi. They telling you they looking for Mike Pence. Where are they at? Where are they? They are why you think they looking for them? To have a conversation with them?
They want to tell them about Jesus.
They don't broke the doors down. They don't beat up the police. They don't pepper spray them. They don't made one have a heart attack. One of your people who coming through don't already got shot and killed, but that's not an insurrection. That was just a picnic at the Capitol. Come on, man. Come on. Be for real.
That's all it was.
But hey, it's people who are like that.
It's a whole lot of.
It's a whole lot of. And it's hard for us to fathom that they think the way that they think. And your opinion is your opinion. How you feel is how you feel. But I'm just saying, if you gonna engage in conversation, be able to listen more so than trying to talk, because he didn't really want to hear nothing we had to say. He just wanted to talk and let us listen and not say anything and just be in agreement. That's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And look, and while the team, gets their composure back and calms down a little bit.
We can't hear you.
Your mic off, here.
I said I was trying to say while the team is trying to gain their try to calm down a little bit. We ask everybody to like, share, and subscribe to the page. Like, share, and subscribe to the page for all of the platforms we have. And this is a special one here, Real Talk. You can say what you want to say. You can get your points off. You can get your, but you got to be able to deal with the consequences of what happens to whatever you say. But like, share, and subscribe. When you hit that notification bell, hit it twice and select all. That way you will be alerted for all of the platforms that we have and when we're about to come on. Also, over there to the right, you'll see the QR code. You can scan your trusty phone to the QR code. You can do it now. You can watch the repeat of the show and do all that type of stuff, and you can still be there. You can scan it. It'll take you right back to the page where you can like, share, and subscribe, like I said earlier. And as always, we ask everybody to share to 5 different friends from the previous week. And if you're new, we just ask you to send it to 5 friends. We're trying to build this base up and try to, keep this good content coming to you.
Chris, make sure you get Thomas to subscribe to the channel. We gave him about 20 minutes of airtime, so he could at least subscribe to the channel and at least listen to the things that we talk about and get to know us a little bit better. I think if he took the time,
ain't nothing gonna change.
Know us, he probably won't, but if he took the time to really get to know us, he would know, we want what's best for the country. I just have a different view on, what could possibly lead to, and I'm proactive. So my thing is, you can't wait until this thing happened. Then you want to, that's just like, I don't get how the Republicans mad because they gerrymandered in Texas, but you mad at California because they doing the exact same thing that you did. How you mad about them doing what you did? See, it be stuff like that I don't get that. Well, I got one more video, but I ain't gonna play it. It's pretty much redundant, saying the same thing, just talking about putting the time limit on, the National Guard, whoever that whoever that attorney or somebody is up there. She said they should stay until there's no more crime and no more arrests are being made. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's please. Yeah, we got a few minutes. Hold on, let me get this off of here. Yeah, we
recommend to the president that this surge has worked and it's time to let federal agents go back to their jobs and National Guard go home.
That's up to the president.
He calls you and says, Judge Pirro, we ready? I think we're all looking for a metric. We're all looking for something on a report card that people can strive for to say, okay, DC is back in control.
How about this? How about when they make no arrests? Do you think that'll ever happen?
That's unattainable. I mean, there's no city in America, there's no city in the world where that's happened. But if in her mind she doesn't think this is over until there are no arrests made, it means there's really no metric. Save for eliminating crime completely. No metric that would automatically trigger the end of this takeover in DC.
If there was a slow-moving coup, let me just describe some of the steps, and you tell me if I'm being paranoid. First, create a masked police force. Get people used to looking at that. Normalize snatching people off the street. Get them used to that. Normalize seeing the National Guard and the military on the street. And then because the crime is so bad, have other states start sending their troops. Not just the National Guard there in D.C., but now at least 6 other states are sending their troops, which then Trump can then federalize. So you're having many states' troops on the ground there, and now they're under federal control. So you have in the Capitol a sort of permanent police presence. So when an election dispute might come up, just hypothetically,
Absolutely. That's what they're preparing for.
And exactly. That's the whole point that I'm making. And I pray that I'm wrong. I pray that I'm wrong. But when you look at what they're doing, that's exactly what they're doing. They're not gonna. If he even get to run again, some kind of way, if it's any kind of way that he gets to run again, then you already know the fix is in. He ain't leaving.
Then what are they gonna say?
Everything fake news already. Ain't nothing his fault.
Nothing.
The economy, the economy, they say is tanking. People losing jobs, ain't gaining jobs. The tariffs were supposed to do this, but it's doing the opposite. Now we find out the tariffs are illegal, so you're gonna have to change them.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it is what it is. I ain't, and it's not to bash him. I bashed Joe Biden. I bashed Obama. I had some bad things to say about him, and I thought he did an outstanding job, but it was still some things that I didn't like that he did.
Right.
So it's not being, one-sided with it. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. And don't get me started on this Gaza Strip.
Oh, please.
Please don't get me started on that.
Oh, please.
Israel first. Now, the Democrats and the Republicans can't agree on nothing, but they 100% almost, your girl, she the only one speaking up, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she the only one speaking out. But everybody else is in line. They can agree on that, but they can't agree on nothing else. That lets you know right there something ain't right with it.
Absolutely.
But we ain't gonna talk about that today. Hey, I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I hope we was up. And it's bad, and I'm getting on y'all who still in here. It's bad that we only went up one more subscriber. Come on now, y'all. Let's come on. Tell somebody to tell somebody. We need
was
to
on the road.
Get these subscriptions up. We was, we want at least two. At least two. But if we can't get two, we'll roll with the subscribers that we got until the wheels fall off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But unless y'all know who Day is, right?
That's your daughter, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my oldest daughter.
Yep.
She finally tuned in.
And stayed the whole show. Thank you.
And Ashley has some great comments, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the apple don't fall far from the tree.
I mean, she her stuff was better than some of these older folk.
And man, y'all. And I'm waiting on her to come on here and debut her new show, her new podcast whenever she get it together. What's the name?
She changed the other one?
Yeah, it's no blueprint, just vibes.
So
I like that.
Day. So do I need to unsubscribe from the old one?
No, you stay on that.
Or did you update the old one to the new show?
Yeah, I think she's gonna update it. I hope I don't know what she's gonna do. She'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she kept the platform.
Yeah, because I think she has a few subscribers already over there. So yeah, it'd be wise to leave it over there and just change it, just revamp it.
She's going to update everything. Okay. Send out the thing so we can come out there and come and take over your show one day.
I told her she need to come on over here to the in the clutch banner. We got some subscribers already. You just add on to it.
Yeah, that's it.
They have some good. Terry, saw some of her shows. Yeah, she has some good conversation. She has some good conversation.
And you can take those conversations, and whenever you need the older person's perspective to help you with your points and stuff, see, we there. You know what I'm saying? So
look at her. Don't
help
start.
us help you. Help us help you.
Team effort, I'm telling you. Oh, well, I think that was a great show. Good dialogue. And again, I hope somebody learned something. Let me see. Randolph, Denise, Day, cousin Pat, Jerome Ewan. I think is that Jerome? Is that Daisha, is that Darian friend Jerome? That's what's coming to my mind. Who else? Chris and Thomas. I appreciate Thomas calling in. He probably think we don't like him, but that ain't the case.
I don't.
Yeah, I know you don't, but I don't have a problem with him. I like those type of conversations. I think that was all who was in here. I don't see no other names on here. But I hope you guys learned something today. And I don't know what the topic gonna be next week, but we'll be back. Same bat time, same bat channel, 7 p.m. next Tuesday. Maybe we'll have something a little more less argumentative.
No, that's the real talk. That's what make real talk, man.
Yeah,
you got to have real conversation. Sometimes it's gonna get heated on the panel. Sometimes it's gonna get heated from the viewers. I mean, it is what it is.
It is. I love it. I love it. See you guys next week.